This is an absolutely crazy situation. Welcome back to another video, and thank you for joining. As you can tell from the title, this was a rather impromptu visit to the Scilly Isles. The original idea for this trip was to come down to Cornwall and do a pelagics across the ocean just to see if we can find any marine mammals. Unfortunately, the boat trip was cancelled, so we decided to get the ferry across to the Scilly Isles instead and see what we could find. And after leaving Manchester at 4 AM, we finally got on the boat and we were off. Now there were lots of options for newbies along the way, but I was keen to get my first dolphin. That was the sound of my frustration of missing the dolphin.
Yeah, getting the shot's another story now.
Danny's waiting to pick one up.
Oh, there was one. That was one. Coming back. Just wait, it jumped out again. Just give it a sec, hopefully they're following. There!
Now, despite my shoddy camera work here, and yes, I wasn't able to get any more footage, but I did get a really good picture, so I'll show you that in a minute. But on the bottom of the screen here, you can actually see the dolphin come up. And of course, the video did it no justice, but I was able to capture this picture of it. Now this is one of the easiest dolphins to identify, and it is my first dolphin that I've actually managed to get, which is the common dolphin. And you can tell by the way that the colour splits into two down the middle. Now that was all we saw of the dolphins on this trip, but we did carry on heading for the Scilly Isles. But mammals weren't the only thing to be seen. I was also after new birds along the way. And the first thing we saw were a couple of Manx shearwater, which I've already got before. But not long after, I found this one, which is a Corey shearwater. You can tell it is a little bit different and it has that yellow beak. These usually spend their winters at the coast of South Africa and South America. Following this, we also saw a great shearwater, which is something again completely new. And very shortly after, I spotted this, a great skua. Now I've seen an Arctic skua before, and it was very, very brief flyover, whereas this one stayed around a little bit just so I could get some photos. I only managed to get photos, but what a victory. And that was the last of the new birds that we saw on our adventure to the Scilly Isles, but we still had a long way to go. And finally, we managed to get towards the islands. It quickly became apparent that we probably chose one of the nicest days to do this. And the Scilly Isles are actually tropical islands. Look how beautiful this was. But we didn't waste time. We were quickly on the path to the first new bird and the first hide of the island. But I also wasn't going to waste the opportunity to get photos of such amazing scenery, and also some incredible nature and wildlife. There's much more to nature than just birds and mammals and reptiles. There's also insects, which I love to take photos of. That being said, as amazing as these creatures are, it's not what we were here for, and I wanted more for the day list and the life list. Starting in this lovely little hide, where I was lucky enough to get a pictorial sandpiper. Now these are really cute brown little wading birds that come from America and Siberia, but we do get a few over here. They're very, very rare to see, particularly in this part of the world, but they are one of the more common waders that do come from America that we can see here. We were also lucky enough to have this snipe in the same exact area as the pictorial sandpiper. Snipe are really, really cool birds and so well camouflaged, you barely ever see them. So to see one out in the day like this, absolutely beautiful. The next bird that I saw were these two confiding linnets. Usually, linnets are quite skittish, and they will fly away as soon as they see humans, but in this case, they just didn't. And normally, they're really hard to get photos of, but I was so lucky in this instance that I was able to get a beautiful picture of them that I'm really happy with.
Oh, all uphill, but we're getting there. So, we've had a good start. Can't even remember what we got on the boat, but I'll put it all on screen if I've not already. We've just seen we've been in a hide over there somewhere, one of those ponds. We've just seen a pectoral sandpiper, and there's a snipe as well, which is a little bonus. So yeah, it's been good fun. But now we're heading towards a wryneck, hopefully, which will be, I've seen one before, it'll be a new one for my dad, but it's a nice one, so hopefully we can get that. We'll see.
We went past this place, which is called Camel Rock, but I don't know why.
Right guys, so we didn't see the wryneck, but it's not all doom and gloom, it's not over. We might have another chance tomorrow, hopefully. We're just heading now to hopefully see a dotterel before we jump on the plane off the island, basically. Like I say, we're only here for 4 hours, so not much time at all. But hopefully we'll see a dotterel before we leave. Bloody hell, look at this!
Flying and stuff.
This is nice. Ah, this place is so cool. Bloody hell, that's a big bird.
Now, as you can see, we're at the other end of the runway here, and it turns out we only had 20 minutes to catch our flight, so this was some quick birding. But what you're looking at right here is a dotterel. This is something completely new for me, new for the list, and a brilliant lifer. However, there was also another bird next to it that I didn't realise I got a photo of the time. That was a buff-breasted sandpiper, another new lifer in the same spot.
Alright guys, so we're back. We just managed to get ourselves a dotterel. The footage isn't very long, hopefully you can see what it is on it, but managed to get a few pictures as well. We had to run because number one, it was on a runway and the runway started beeping at us, telling us to get off. Number two, our flight is in like half an hour and we're on the other end of the island, so we're heading back now. Hopefully we'll get back in time, and then it's back to Land's End from there, so keep you updated. Jesus. Okay, well, good news, I'm dying. That's not the good news. The good news is we made it to the airport. Yes, I am dying now. That's me. Hello. Woohoo. But yeah, we've made it to the airport. So soon we'll be on the plane. Let's go. Yeah, that's a big bird. Do you watch the... Yeah, I think so.
And with that, we were heading back to mainland with no real targets going forward. We could fly straight past where we got the dotterel, which was literally there. So you can see such cool scenery, amazing place, beautiful, beautiful island if you ever get the chance to go. But with that, we headed back to mainland. Now, the original plan was to head to Land's End from here, but we thought no. We'll head to Bodmin Jail, see if we can get a new bat species for the list, and then we'll do one better than Land's End tomorrow morning.
Alright, we landed, it's windy, but we're at Land's End. Woo! Kind of, nearly. We just got to Land's End now, and I think we're not going all the way to Land's End, we just got to the airport, and then we're going to head back to Penzance, get in the van, go from there, figure out what we're doing. Woo!
Now on the way to Bodmin Jail, quickly stopped off at this hide as we'd heard that there was a black kite around. That would have been another new one, but unfortunately we didn't get it. But we did still see some really cool stuff, like this cormorant just drying its wings off. Now, fishermen hate cormorants, purely because they steal all the fish. But what's even more ridiculous about them is that whilst they are birds that do love fishing, they are seabirds, they're one of the most useless seabirds, because they're actually not waterproof. What that means is they have to stand on these rocks with the wings out, which is great for photographers, but not so great for them, because it means every time they go for a swim, they have to stand like a lemon. Next, we saw this common sandpiper, which again, always cool to see. As the name suggests, they are quite common, but still, amazing little birds. And this was followed by this beauty, which again, it isn't a new bird, but it's still such a cool one to see. Now this is a green shank, far rarer than the common red shank, and as you can see, much bigger than the common sandpiper. Now this next bird that I saw was very, very exciting and very unexpected. From behind a rock, I saw this black shape, and soon found that it was a glossy ibis. Now, historically, these birds have been quite rare to see in the UK, but they are becoming more and more common due to habitat expansion. Like lots of other birds from Europe, due to things like global warming, they are able to now expand their range to places like the UK. Whilst these birds did attempt to breed in the UK back in 2014 and 2016, it wasn't until recently in 2022 that they had their first successful breeding attempt. This is a strong suggestion that pretty soon, much like the little egrets and great white egrets, these will be a popular sight in the UK. But we are still far from that at the minute. Now, with daylight coming to an end, I was still keen to try and get at least one more species for the list, which led me to here.
Right guys, so this is an absolutely crazy situation. We're just on our way back to the caravan now. We were saying we stopped off at Bodmin Jail, I'll put a picture on the screen, but we didn't actually see anything. But I wanted to see some bats, and I'm not even sure what bat this is, but it's absolutely amazing. We've just come to this, we've come past a bus stop by, or what looks like a bus stop. Look at this. Honestly, I can't even believe this. I'm pretty sure it's a horseshoe bat, which is what I was looking for. I'm not sure what type. But my god, that is so cool. Literally just about above me there.
Now, this was a new species for the list. This is a lesser horseshoe bat, as opposed to greater horseshoe, which would be the size of a pear, whereas this one was the size of a plum.
Right guys, it's the morning. We've just got to Lizard Point. The weather's not outside today, far different from yesterday. But yeah, we've just got to Lizard Point now, which is the furthest, the most southerly point of the UK basically. This is as far as we can go, it's further than Land's End. And it's just awesome. Really, really cool. Obviously the weather isn't great. But look at that. So good. Whew. cool. So this is Lizard Point, I think. Hoping. Lizard Point! This place is so cool, man. Yeah! Very furthest south that I can go on the UK. Done, ticking it off. There's no birds here. I was hoping that maybe we'd get lizard, but obviously the weather isn't on our side, so we'll scrap common lizard today as well, but yeah, happy with that.
And with that, we headed home after a very, very successful adventure. Thanks for watching.